Assalamualaikum, dear students of ADP Part 2 Science. Today we are going to do another chapter from your textbook, and this chapter is August 2026. There Will Come Soft Rains by Ray Bradbury. It was written in 1951. Now, in this chapter, in this lecture, students, I'm going to discuss the theme, the summary of of this chapter. This is chapter number 17, okay, of your books. Now, this is an ironic essay. It is a science fantasy, and this lesson, August 2026, There Will Come Soft Rain, basically addresses the central fear of its time, a nuclear holocaust. This is not uncommon for a work of science fiction written in the 1950s. In 1945, for the first time in human history, the end of the world became a real possibility. And the writers of Ray Bradbury's generation were clearly influenced by that event. What is uncommon about August 2026 then is not its theme of nuclear disaster, but its view of the technology that made such a disaster possible. Now, August 2026 was written, as I've told you, in 1951, and it was the time when most of the writers they were preoccupied with the prospects of the destruction of human race by the dropping of a nuclear bomb. The nuclear bomb, with the atomic bomb, which was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki by America in the Second World War, had opened the eyes of humanity. It had made people realize the destruction that could be made with the insane, with the foolish use of technology. And the sensitive people, like the writers of the time, they started writing on this theme, and this is exactly the central theme of the novel, of this of this essay. And it does not focus on the fear, but it represents picture of the world without human being, a world which was destroyed, which was fixed by an atomic bomb, and and where there are no more human beings. The house, which you will read about in this summary, the house of these human beings, which was fortified by them for their security with the help of technology. There were many amenities they had provided themselves with. They were all present in the house. What was missing from the house were the inhabitants, were the people of the house. Why? Because their lives were taken away from them by the nuclear blast, by the atomic bomb. In general, from the time of Julius Verne and H.G. Wells to the present, science fiction writers have been faced with two mutually exclusive views of technological progress. Technology can offer the promise of a future paradise in which mechanization sets humans free from labor, hunger, and disease. Or technology threatens to eliminate humans completely by making them quite simply obsolete. For Bradbury, this either or perception is far too simplistic. In August 2026, he argues that utopia and dystopia are the same places. So, the writers from the past, the center of the earth, Julius Verne, who was a famous science fiction writer. From his time onwards, the writers of science fiction they were preoccupied with two views about with two prospects of human technological progress. One view offers them a very promising future picture, One view offers tells them that the future world that would be made, that would be created by the technology invented by human beings would be a utopia, would be a paradise. Everything would be mechanized. Human beings would be free of manual labor. Everything would be, every job, every chore, every labor would be performed by robots or by machines, or there would be a complete mechanization. Human beings would be enjoying themselves, a world of peace and happiness. So this was one view which the writers of science fiction held in their writing, and then there was another view by the, which was expressed by science fiction writers, and it was exactly the same view which is shared by Bradbury in this story August 2026. And this view states that this technology, the technological advancement which human beings are making by leaps and bounds in and with the technological advancement which is taking place around us, it would one day bring disaster to this world. It would one day eliminate, annihilate human beings, kill human race altogether. It would wipe out humanity, human race rather, human race from this whole world, and that would be dystopia. Now, here in Red Ray's story, you would find out that a utopia and a dystopia at the same time. Why utopia? Because there's no fight going on. Why dystopia? Because there are no human being. Destruction has taken place. Human beings are destroyed. The very opening lines, students of the story, introduce the reader to a house without inhabitant, in a city without survivors, in a world that may well be devoid of human life. The house seems to be the only structure still standing in Allendale, California, USA, and all that is left of the McClellan family, who once lived there, are the cell hearts of their bodies left on the outside of the west wall by the nuclear firestorm. In the posthumous in the post-human story, the house serves as the central character. Now, what is there in the very opening line? If you take out your books, you could easily read out in the very opening lines of the story. We, the readers, are introduced to a house without inhabitants, and how we are shown, or how are we introduced to this house by the clock, telling the time, by the clock telling the date, by the clock announcing the important events that will be taking place on that day, and the kitchen preparing the breakfast for the inhabitants, announcing that it is ready, and the response is none. Right? The response by human being is none, which is devoid of human life. So it seemed to we are told that this was the only house that was the house whose structure was intact in the state of California, in the city of Annandale, America, and this house was once left by McClellan family, and but now what is left of them, they are no more alive. Their lives have been taken away by the nuclear firestorm that had taken place, by the nuclear explosion, and what is left of them was only their shadow, the cell hearts of their bodies, which was printed on the outside wall of the house. Okay? And in the house, we are told that in this story, the house serves as the central character. It is the house which is speaking. It is the house which is taking care to save itself from the outside danger. And here is the description. The house is fully automated. It is fully automatic, capable of waking its inhabitants in the morning, reminding them of appointments and bills to be paid, preparing their meals, doing the dishes, cleaning, setting up tables for an afternoon bridge game, and even reading them poetry in the evening. It operates without the need for human intervention or decision, and so it continues to do its various tasks even when those it once served are gone. The house does not know this, of course, though it does seem to have a kind of electronic awareness and capacity for thought. Bradbury offers the house an emotional life of sorts by giving it a maternal voice. Rain, rain, go away, rubbers, raincoats for today, and instilling it with an old maidenly preoccupation with self protection which bordered on a mechanical paranoia. Now, now let me read out from page 123, the first page of the story from your books. Now the house is fully automated. Okay, and if you go through the first page, in the living room, the wise clock sang tick tock, 7 o'clock, time to get up, 7 o'clock, as if it were afraid that nobody would. The morning house lay empty. The clock ticked on, repeating and repeating its sounds into the emptiness. 7-9, breakfast time, 7-9. In the kitchen, the breakfast stove gave a hissing sigh and ejected from its warm interior 8 pieces of perfectly brown toast, 8 eggs, sunny side up, 16 slices of bacon, 2 coffees, and 2 cool glasses of milk. Today is August 4, 2026, said a second voice from the kitchen ceiling. In the city of Allendale, California, it repeated date 3 times for memory's sake. Today is Mr. Featherstone's birthday. Today is the anniversary of Teleta's marriage. Insurance is payable, as are the water, gas, and light bills. Somewhere in the walls, relays clicked memory tapes, glided under electric eyes. 8-1, tick tock, 8-1 o'clock, off to school, off to work, run, run, 8-1, but no door slammed, no carpets took the soft tread of rubber heels. It was raining outside. The weather box on the front door sang quietly, rain, rain, go away, rubbers, raincoats for today. And the rain tapped on the empty house, echoing. Outside, the garage chimed and lifted its door to reveal the waiting car. After a long wait, the door swung down again. At 8:30, the eggs were shriveled and the toast were like stone. An aluminium wedge scraped them into the sink. So, into the sink, and so this was how the house was fully automated, and everything was mechanized, and everything was happening. Everything was going on as per the routine of the inhabitants of the house, without their being present over there. And the house itself would announce to the people the emotions which are given to the house. They are exhibited by the device it had given to the people going outside, that they should cover themselves against the rainy day. And then the whole story chronicles the last day in the life of the house, because at the end of this day, the house would collapse. And you would I'll read out to you how the house shows awareness for its own safety. The story chronicles the last day in the life of the house, August 4, 2026, almost 81 years to the day after the first bombs were used against a civilian population in Japan. The day seems ordinary enough, despite the fact that there is no family within the walls of the house and perhaps no world outside. But this is not an ordinary day. At noon, the family dog appears at the door, sick with radiation poisoning. The house recognizes the animal's voice and lets it in, but it soon dies, and the cleaning mechanisms dispose of the carcass, the dead body, coldly and efficiently. Now, the story chronicles the last day in the life of the house. As I have read to you the first page of the story. On the second page again, if you go through the second page, you would come to know that whatever happened in the house at times by the clock is mentioned in the story. In the story, we are told that at 9:50 the clock sang time to clean, and then from the warrens came out small animals. Rat-like animals with their pink electronic eyes. They started cleaning the house, and after cleaning the house, they went back to the holes from which they came out. Then at 10 o'clock, the sun came out from behind the rain, and we are told that the house stood alone in a city of rubble and ashes. This was the one house left standing at the night. The ruined city gave off a radioactive glow which could be seen for miles. Then 10:50, the garden sprinklers welled up in golden founts, filling the soft morning air with scatterings of brightness. The water pelted window panes running down the charred west side where the house had been burnt evenly free of its white paint. The entire west face of the house was black, save for five places. Here the cell heart in paint of a man mowing a lawn. Here, as in a photograph, a woman bent to pick flowers. Still farther away, their images burned on wood. In one titanic instant, a small wire hand flung into the air higher up the image of a thrown ball, and opposite him a girl, hands raised to catch a ball which never came down. The five spots of paint, the men, the women, the children, the ball remained. The rest was a thin charcoal layer. So the image of the four members of the house, which were which was preserved on the wall at the time when the radioactive glow took the city at night had been pointed out, and we feel some, we are full of fear when we look at them. The family was engaged in its normal daily living. The man was cutting the grass of the lawn. The woman was enjoying the beauty of the flower, and she wanted to pick one flower. The children were playing with the ball, and it was it seemed a very happy family when their lives were taken away. Anyhow, the story chronicles the last day in the life of the house. So at 10:15, the garden sprinklers they started watering the garden, and then the dog of at 12 noon, a dog whined in, and it was the pet of the family, and it had been exposed to radiation, and because of this, it was in a very bad condition. It was we are told that the dog, which was once huge and fleshy, had now grown to bone and covered with sores, and it was allowed to come into the house because the house had recognized the dog and it had let him in. But the dog, upon entering the house, it started searching for its masters. He had gone to different rooms with its muddy paws, and and since he did not find them, and therefore it finally frothed at the mouth, lying at the door, setting its eyes and turned to fire. It ran wildly in circles, biting at its tail, spun in a frenzy, and died. It lay in the parlor for an hour, and so it died. And then 2 o'clock, it was the carcass was recognized by the house, and it was disposed of. It was sent to the cellar to be burned. And then at okay, so then at 2:35 the bridge tables were laid, and the evening tea was prepared, music was prepared, and the nursery came to life. It was children hour, but there were no children. 5 o'clock, bath was filled, and then at 9 o'clock, beds were warmed. At 9:05, the voice came from the selling, and the poem asking for the mistress, Mrs. McClellan, to select the poem to be played. Finding no answer, the house itself selected a poem at random, and it was an irony that the poem which was selected was Sarah Dastel's poem, which we are going to discuss. However, at 10 o'clock in the night, the house began to die. There is an accident. The widow blows a tree branch through the kitchen window, and a bottle of cleaning solvent splatters across the stove. The fire spreads quickly, and though the house tried to save itself with its built-in defense mechanism, it fails. By morning, only one wall is left standing, and an electronic voice repeats the same words over and over. Today is August 5, today is August 5, today is, and so this fire, it led to the death of the house ultimately, which took place at 10 o'clock on 4th August to 2026. The house tried its best to save itself, but the fire had engulfed the whole house, and the house was destroyed. And so the technology excuse me. So the technology that makes this utopian house possible is the same technology that makes nuclear war possible, and Bradbury does not want the reader to overlook this connection. In fact, he implies that the difference between the house and the bomb is only one of degree. The technology of mechanized house has already rendered human beings superfluous. The technology of war merely brings the process of its logical end. So, why the writer has written this story? He has written this story to make its reader realize that the same technology which has been used to create this utopian house, this house which was which was full of which is full of amenities for human beings, same technology could be used to destroy human beings. So in Bradbury's story, neither nuclear technology nor the automated house is responsible for the cataclysmic Holocaust. The truth is that humans have simply abdicated their position as the dominant species, if indeed they ever really held that position or not. Despite technology, the end of human life in Bradbury's story is the result of a human crime, a crime of conscious omission. Now, in this story, no nuclear technology has been used, and it is not the house which is responsible for the ending of human race, for the ending of human beings. It is these are the human beings. These are the human beings who have committed the crime of using unwisely the technology which they have made, of technology which they have made, with which they could bring blessings to them. They had used it to bring destruction upon them. The house is in the habit the house is in the habit of reading poetry to Mrs. McClellan in the evening, and it does so even on this evening, choosing to read the Sarah Dusty poem that gives the story its title. Not one would mind, neither birds nor tree, if mankind perish utterly. In spring herself, when she woke at dawn, could scarcely know that we were gone. So, human beings' presence or absence absence would not be felt by nature. No one would bother. Neither the birds nor the trees would bother by the going of human beings. The poem states that the natural world does not need us in order to exist, that it would be as it is, even if we humans were not here to know it. There is nothing particularly profound about this suggestion in itself. Bradbury's use of this poem in this story makes an unusual connection between the natural world and the world of technology, which also does not seem to need us in order to exist. Though it is the natural world that all but destroys the technology of the house. Technology itself, like the world of nature, is also able to go on without humanity. But August 2026 suggests that is more than a simple conflict between civilization and nature. Rather, in this story, Bradbury notes that human life is poised quite precariously between the natural world, which we believe we have left behind, and the technological world, which has outdistanced us. To our misfortune, concludes the author, neither of these two worlds need us to be what it is. Now, so what the writer has done by introducing this point in the story is to point out that the natural world also does not need us. So on one hand, the writer has shown a world of technology that exists without human beings in the form of the automated house. And on the other hand, he has shown the world without a natural world without human beings. And he has pointed out that it is man who needs to balance these two worlds. It is man who needs these two worlds and not these words and these words don't need man, so man should behave sanely, man should use technology wisely, man should engage himself in in those endeavors which would bring blessings to him. Otherwise everything would be left, everything would stay behind him, and he would no more be there in this world to enjoy his technological advancement or the natural world created by nature around him. So, this is all for today, girls. I hope you have understood this chapter through this chapter. And what I want you to do is to go through the chapter by yourself. Try to figure out whether you understand the chapter or not. Okay, have a good day. Allah Hafiz.